What's up, everybody? So as promised, I got a little lore and unit breakdown for Kiknik Toofsnatcha. So Kiknik Toofsnatcha started life out as an ordinary gobbo, being bullied by his betters and looking over his shoulders in fear of his enemies around him. Every time Kiknik would get his head kicked in or stuffed, he would grow more and more spiteful, allowing that little goblin heart to develop such a hatred for those around him. This was until his friend Champa would turn up at his side. As most orc lore, no one really knows or remembers how he was able to tame Champa, especially after his own self-aggrandizements. One story tells of him wrestling the wolf down and claiming dominance. The second was a stare that Moore himself would shudder from. However, those close to Kiknik have their own stories. Tales have been passed from gobbo to gobbo about how he nursed the wolf pup from the brink of death itself. Whatever the story, Kiknik and Champa would prove to be a devastating pair. All those who had bullied Kiknik would be found with their throats ripped out, and once all his rivals were dealt with, he would become the boss. And with that title came great responsibility. Kiknik would go on to lead his lads ever onward to glory, and more importantly, gold. Now with that dope lore piece done, here's a profile card I made. Take a screenshot, have fun of it, look at it, whatever. In 3, 2, 1, I'm here. Boom! Like a freaking bad nightmare, I showed up. Alright, so Kiknik Toofsnatcha has a really interesting profile. Some of his stats are a bit better than Ogda's Strompdigga, but he is not a wizard, so I can see why the spell, like the points and the stats would be what they are. So, Kiknik is weapon skill 5, strength 4, toughness 4, has 3 wounds, initiative 5, and 4 attacks. Pretty beefy for a goblin, right? Now, he has pretty decent equipment. He comes with a cav spear, light armor, shield, putting him at a 5-up, with Champa giving him armored hide, which is a 4-up. Now, he has a special weapon called the Skull Smasher. Now, it has 2 weapon profiles. You must declare one before the start of the combat phase. You cannot use both with all the attacks. So, the hammer, I think, is really good, personally, for taking out things like a chariot. It puts you at strength 6, it's AP 1, you get armor bane 2, so on a 6, you're AP 3, and magical attacks. That is a really good thing to have, maybe if you want to charge something really heavy. Like I said, a chariot's running around messing stuff up. Charge it with this. Now, he also can take a profile called the Pick. The Pick is strength as user, AP 2, and this is where it gets beautiful. Armor bane 2, so still on a 6, you're now AP 4. Magical attacks and wounds 2. Now, anytime you're kind of doing like 4 AP, it can be helpful, like especially something that's barded with full plate and a shield. But they are probably going to have a ward save too if you're going up against a challenge, which you do not have. You will, if you go first, might be able to punk that out in a challenge, but again, 4 attacks with a potential output, say 2 fail, a potential output of 4 wounds if they fail 2 and all 4 make it somehow. That could take out a character, so don't let it just look small potatoes. He's pretty decent, but again, he lacks a ward save. He's probably not going to be doing too hot if he catches a blast, but anyways, he also has a couple special rules. I highlighted 3 of them. All sneaky like. So 0 to 1 Goblin Wolf Rider mobs can take ambushers for free. And when rolling to see if ambushers come on, you may add a plus or minus this when determining whether they'll stay in reserve. So that's really nice. It reminds me of old 7th Ed drop pods. There's a formation you could take where you could add 1 or subtract 1, allowing you to leave your stuff in reserves longer to hold on to it, which with this guy might be good. You might want to hold him in reserves an extra round and then unleash one of these Goblin Wolf Rider mobs. Who knows? They have it and run, which means if they win combat rather than pursue, they can actually fall back in good order, which is really nice, allowing you to kind of get more distance from them and redirection them for a later hit or to be a threat to your opponent, which is really nice. And then the boss's trophy rack. On the turn in which they charge, Kiknik and whatever unit you join causes fear and is +1 to combat results. So that's really nice to have that +1. Now, Champa is no slouch either. It's movement 9, weapon skill 5, strength 4, initiative 3, and attacks 2 with armor bane 1 if you look in the special rules down there. Now, aside from all that, they have a couple special rules that I think are interesting, like chariot runners. Impetuous is going to make it hard on a 1 to 3. You will have to declare a charge. On a 4, 5, 6, they act as normal. That messes with fast cav a little bit with the orcs and goblins range, and also I think the Empire Pistoliers, I think they are. I don't know. The dudes on the horse with the handguns. It's interesting to see people that try to like go around and harass units and then fail that and have to charge. So just a quick video for you today. I just want to talk about Kiknik Toofsnatcha. Tell you my opinion. I think he's pretty cool. I would include him in a thematic list, maybe not a competitive list. But everybody, until next time, peace.